So, you're wondering, what are some of the things that the top students tend to do in order to achieve the results that they do? And in this video, I will be covering some of those things for you to implement so that you can improve your grades as well. So stay tuned. In this channel, we cover academic videos, study tips, as well as personal development elements to help you become a better student, to achieve better grades in school, and of course, later on, success in life. So if you like what you're seeing here, do consider leaving a like and subscribe to our channel for the weekly videos. So without any further ado, here's number 1. Conducting mental reviews. Imagine this scenario. You've just gotten back your test results, and frankly, you didn't do so well. So there are two sets of actions that you can choose to do over here. The first one, basically throwing the paper in the air and thinking, I'll do better next time. I think I can, somehow, some way, I just will. The top students, however, choose to do things slightly differently. The first thing that they will do is to go through a reflection or a review mentally on the things that they've done well, the things that have done not so well, and what are the things they could potentially improve on. They then act on these things to try to improve the way that they try to prepare for their exams in the future. And using these methods, the more often they review, the more often they conduct changes to the way they prepare for exams, the better eventually the grades become. This reflective process is extremely important for you to achieve the results that you want eventually, because if you keep doing the same things over and over again without identifying your strengths, without identifying the right methods that is effective for you, chances are you're not going to improve much. But if you stick to it, reflect on a daily basis, reflect on each result that you get, and try to improve the way you study, you try to find the best way that you study, eventually your results will improve over time. Number 2, learning from their mistakes. So this point is very similar to the first one where people conduct mental reviews, but it's also extremely important for people to improve on. So most students take for granted this process of correction, right? So when you get back this assignment or when you get back a test result and then the teacher asks you to do some kind of correction. So most people do correction very hastily. They try to just do the corrections and then hand back the paper to their teachers and then just move on with whatever else that they're doing with their life. But that's actually the wrong thing to do, because corrections is the greatest opportunity for a student to improve their work. Say for example, again, if you were to write an essay that gets a B grade every single time and you're thinking, I should write more essays in order to improve myself, the more you write, you realize you're getting better and better at writing a B grade essay. The only way to improve is to heed those advice from your teachers, from your friends, or from whatever advice you're getting to improve on your current work to eventually reach an A grade essay. Only through repeated production of A grade essays will you truly be able to improve your current level of work. So if you don't pay attention to corrections, if you don't pay attention to the mistakes and don't learn from them, you'll always remain at about the same kind of grade. Number 3, clearing the doubts and seeking help when you are unclear. This might seem like an obvious one, but you'll be surprised how many students don't do enough of this. Letting your doubts and confusion fester in your mind over a long period of time cannot be healthy for you. As your teacher progresses along through the chapter or through the next chapter, these certain concepts that you don't quite grasp or don't quite understand tends to stack on itself layer by layer by layer. And eventually, you don't seem to understand anything that's happening in class. And eventually, in examinations, well, it's pretty obvious what's going to happen then. I hope you realize that there are several avenues you can actually clear your doubts or ask questions. Your teacher, number 1, is the most obvious of all. You could always ask your teacher questions. You could always ask them to seek clarification on certain things that they've said in class. You could also ask your friends, you could ask your family members, parents, cousins, or basically anyone that would be able to find an answer for you. Some students find it very uncomfortable to approach their teachers or just knock on the door of the staff room and say, can I find Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so to ask he or she some questions. This might not be comfortable for you now, but if you do this repeatedly, force yourself to do this repeatedly, it will eventually become easier for you to speak up, talk to someone, and get the things that you need cleared, because it's extremely important that you clear all these doubts, seek help as soon as possible. Number 4, and this is another obvious one, staying healthy. Staying healthy means eating right, sleeping well, exercising on a regular basis. You'll be surprised how many students or how many people don't do this enough. So this scenario might be familiar to you. It's 11 p.m. and you receive a text message. Then it's 2 a.m. and this happens. And before you know it, it's 6 a.m. And then you get to school. You're half dead, you're tired, you don't really listen to what the teacher is saying. All you want to do is get home, get to bed. Being healthy helps you to stay focused in class and helps you to stay focused in whatever you're trying to do and accomplish. So without being healthy, the level of focus you're able to achieve simply isn't good enough. If you're unable to keep your focus in class, unable to keep focused on your homework, unable to keep focused on anything, it's rather difficult to achieve the kind of top grades that the top students are achieving, don't you think? Down to number 5, not running away when things get difficult. So the truth is, the top students don't have some kind of crazy study routine, they don't have some secret studying method, or they don't have like the best teacher or best tutor that you don't have the opportunity to meet. Actually, the top students simply do the simple things right consistently. In other words, they're disciplined. When the things get difficult or when things get tough, they don't just run away and go like, I'll do this some other time, I'll just find some other way to do this, what the heck. I mean, we do understand that it's human nature to do these two things. The first one would be running away from fear, escaping pain, towards receiving pleasure or relief. Certain things might come as uncomfortable to you, such as asking teacher questions, facing the things that you're not doing so well in, or practicing the subject that you fare the worst in. These things cause you certain levels of pain and certain levels of fear. You don't know what's happening, you don't really know how to tackle it, you're just generally confused and not sure what to do. However, in order to achieve the results that you haven't actually received so far, you need to try to do something that's outside this bubble. In order for you to break through this bubble, the only thing you need to do is to try doing something that you haven't done before. These will be difficult, but once again, my point number 5 is not to run away when things get difficult or tough. By repeatedly doing things that are outside of your comfort zone, like asking that question in class, raising that hand and asking that question in front of everyone else, saying no to that friend that always asks you to play COD all the time at 2 a.m. for no reason. Doing all these uncomfortable things helps you to eventually achieve the kind of result that you haven't achieved before. So if you like what you've seen so far, leave a like, click on the subscribe button, and we will be uploading videos once a week. Before you go, check out these other videos that we've uploaded so far.